Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am going to be doing flip throughs of literature studies. I have 4 moving beyond the page literature studies and then 1 Progeny Press literature study. People really ask about these, so I thought I would just try to do them all in one sitting. Disclaimer, I have not flipped through all of these extensively, but we have done several other moving beyond the page literature studies. So I'm just going to go through these with you guys and point out things that I've felt in the past that were really important, and you can kind of get an idea of what they look like. Our first one is The Girl Named Disaster. Then we have My Side of the Mountain. We have Esperanza Rising. And then we have To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm going to start with this one. This will be for my oldest daughter who is in the 8th grade. And I'm going to preface this by saying we will be doing this literature study together, she and I. So I will have a copy of To Kill a Mockingbird. And I also want to share with you guys that I don't ever recall having read this book. But I do know, and I looked up, that I feel like this is something that she and I need to do together. I think that she is mature enough to be able to handle the content that we have talked about or that I have come across in researching this book. My husband has read the book, and so we've talked extensively about it. And I think that she is ready for this type of content based off of all the things that she's read. So she and I are going to do this together. So here is the book. I bought this off of Thrift Books, you guys. Very used book, but like, who cares? It has writing and stuff in it, which I think will be really cool for her to kind of see how other people have gone through the book. So we have that. Okay. On your Moving Beyond the Page literature studies, it always has an age here, and that's how the content is broken up when you go to the website. You can check that out on your own time. It is movingbeyondthepage.com. This is semester 2, unit 4. I will explain what that means as I open it up. So you open up concept 2, semester 2. I'll explain that to the best of my knowledge going forward. You go here, it has your table of contents, how to use Moving Beyond the Page, and then all of the details of this specific literature study, a parent overview, writing rubric, age level overview, and summary skills. Then you go into it and it talks about how to use this. It is going to tell you that this is a part of a whole unit for this grade level or age level of the 12 to 14 group. You do not have to use every single item within this grade level for your child for the units. You can pick individual units. They can be standalone, or you can put them with other things. There's science and social studies and literature. There is no math that goes along with this. So here they are: science or language arts, science, social studies, then math and physical activity. These would be things that you do on your own. You can do an entire unit for that grade level, or like I said, you can just pick the unit study. So it just goes through details about how that works. This one has vocabulary. So in the front, it has a vocabulary list and the meanings of those. And then you go into your unit review sheet. It says these facts and definitions should be mastered throughout the unit. This page can be used for periodic review and study as you finish the unit in the future. So it goes through and talks about historical context, different things, home and school, using vocabulary, what each lesson kind of covers. And there are 13 total lessons. It also goes into books required. A lot of the Moving Beyond the Page literature studies will say that you need the Handy Guide to Writing by Moving Beyond the Page. And I will be honest, I've never used it. I've never purchased it, never seen inside of it. And my girls have thrived and loved the literature study. So if you're a person who wants that additional information, go for it. If not, don't. Then it tells you the other books that you need. And we need To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, which we already have. Okay, it will go through and tell you a materials list for every unit. And so for this specific unit, here are the things that you need, and it will tell you which lesson you need them. It also has things, this indicates material that is either optional or may not be used. We'll have a star by it. That's all the details are there. Then you go into your lessons. There's always a getting started, stuff that you need, ideas to think about, and things to know. Then you will go into activities. There's an activity 1. There are links right here. You go to the Moving Beyond the Page website and you pick which literature study you are working on. And this is a Moving Beyond the Page link. You will click on it and it will automatically populate. This one is a video for your child to watch. We did another literature study where we had links for videos or diagrams, graphs, things like that, but it will always tell you where to go. And it gives you background information about that activity. Then you go into mind mapping and it talks about that. And then it just guides you through what you should do. You read the questions and you read and answer the questions. And then here are your questions that your child would answer. Then you go into activity number 2. This one is phrases and clauses. It goes through all of the things. It has some things underlined for definitions, all of that. And then you wrap up for this lesson of lesson number 1. Now you can have your child choose to do this all in one day, or you can spread it out. It's totally up to you. Typically, Moving Beyond the Page says that you should be able to get these literature studies done within 2 to 3 weeks. We typically always take 1 month. That's activity 2. And then here is the phrases and clauses sheet for activity. Then here's page number 2. There are usually different levels, okay? This is a part 1, and then this is a part 2. And some of the other literature studies we've done, they had varying levels. So they would have a level 1 and a level 2. Level 2 was for older children, and then obviously level 1 is for younger, but still within that range. So different levels of difficulty. This doesn't seem to do the same thing. It's just a part 1 and a part 2 of this one. And then you continue on. You go to the next lesson. It tells you what you need. This one says you need a dictionary, which every homeschool family has one of those, or multiple if you're anything like us. You go through, you read your reading portion, you answer your questions. Here's another link for you to look at. It says click the About Harper Lee tab to learn more about the author. So you're learning about the author in this one. And then it goes into a vocabulary exercise, has your wrap up for that, but vocabulary exercise that goes along with the sheet. And then it's like that for every single lesson. There will be different activities that you may have to go through. This is sentence diagramming, more sentence diagramming. I'm kind of going backwards on this, y'all, but simple diagrams for sentence diagramming. I'm left-handed, so I always turn things a little bit differently. But a sample skit, let's see what this is about. As I said, I have not flipped through all of these, so I don't know all of the details. Diagramming basics, simple comic book. They'll go through things like that. There are always different projects in here, and typically you have a project at the end. I'm going to flip back to the beginning and see if it specified what the project. So this one, text and film, filmmakers make many changes. So this is just a unit review. Let's go here. I don't know if it said specifically what the project would be. Final project, or oral book presentation, which should take you 3 days. So I'm going to walk you guys all the way to the back of the book here. Here is lesson number 13, text and film, and this is where you would incorporate your final project, I believe. So they're still reading chapters 29 through 31. They go through, everything wraps up, and then you have your film version, To Kill a Mockingbird. Then you have a movie and text section where they would work on. And then here is your final project for 3 days. It gives you instruction on introducing the book presentation, different slides and how to set those up. Activity 2, plan your presentation and your slides, book versus movie. So it really does walk your child through what it is that they need to do on day 2 and day 3, and then the wrap up. They give their oral presentation on day 3. And then here's the final project rubric for how you as the parent would grade it, and to let your child know what guidelines they need to follow. That's what a rubric is all about. Historical context, character. So these are all sheets that are related to the final project. Final test here and study guide. Kill a Mockingbird, additional study guide for grammar, and then they have a unit test. Now this is new. My girls did not have a test at the end of the other units that we did. I find this really cool. I'm enjoying this part. So that's good. It kind of just tests their knowledge on what they have learned. So let's go into the parent overview section here. And in this section, what I found in the past is that it lets you know as the parent what your child is going to be looking at, reading, watching, doing, all of those things. It also typically will warn you, honestly, if there are some things that are hard topics. And it may say you may want to sit down with your child to read this portion, to explain and have more discussion about it, things like that. I absolutely love that Moving Beyond the Page does that. It's like a forewarning. So you as a parent, you read this before your child gets started so you will know what you need to do. Here are the answers as well. So part 2 answer key, part 1 answer key within each of the lessons. So you know you can grade your child's work, you know what they're going over. Here are the answers to the questions. You are prepared as the parent to know what your child is going to be doing for each lesson. Then as you get to the end, it is going to have all of the final project details here, what your child should be doing, what it looks like, the instructions for you, and then it gives you a wrap up of everything that you have done. Here is the test for oral book presentation, what it's supposed to look like. And then you finish up. Here's your rubric. And then here is the overview of the curriculum divided up into sections, the social studies unit and language arts, and then semester 2. And this is if you want to do the entire curriculum. Now I'm going to move on to a couple of the others, and I'll show you guys. They're basically all set up the same. Esperanza Rising, we have the book here. I think I bought this, I don't know, maybe on Amazon. We've had this one for a couple of years. On the age for this one, it is 10 to 12. And this is also in concept number 4, unit 1, the same setup for each and every unit, you guys. And I love that. That's consistency. On this one, there's a little bit more. It talks about daily journaling, spelling, vocabulary, because it's for a little bit of a younger age range. But majority of the intro details are all the same. You're going to get your required books, Esperanza Rising. Here it is again, the handy guide to writing. And then What Was the Great Depression? We actually have that book already because we have that almost the entire series. Materials list for every single lesson. And then you have your unit overview sheets, the review sheets, and it goes through every single piece of it. Here are your links. And as I said, you can get online to click on these links, or you can just look at it and type it in. It's totally up to you, but they're easily accessible. Just put it in a bookmark on your computer or your child's computer, and they can click on those links. Then you get all the way. I want to see if this one has the varying activity levels. So activity 1 here, and then this is activity number 2. Comparison chart. Nope. So in this one, it doesn't do that to where they have the different activity levels for it. So activity 1, this is page 1, it's still activity 1. I'll have to see if I can find one where the activities are split up. Let's go back here to the parent overview. For the end of this one, final project, why can I not say that? Dramatization, sorry guys, for 2 days. Should take 2 days, and it walks them through posters, movie sets, movie trailers, everything that they need to do, wrapping up and how to present that, and then gives them all of the different sheets that they need. It goes into your parent overview, and there is no test in this one that I've seen so far, like the other one. No, so there's no test. Now this one only has 10 lessons plus a final project. So you will find that the lessons vary depending on age and content of how they chose to organize it. The next one is My Side of the Mountain. This is for ages 9 to 11. This will be one of the first ones that my youngest daughter or middle daughter, Maggie, is going to be doing. She just turned 12 back in June. So I still think that these are valuable for my girls, even if it doesn't fit exactly within their age range. But we have the book here. And flip through. I'm going to go right to on this one. So this one only has 7 lessons. So as you can see, the younger the age group, typically they have a little bit less lessons for them to do. They still have a final project of Think Tic-Tac-Toe, your parent overview, same details. This one says My Side of the Mountain, and then Walking with Henry. We actually have that book. So I do purchase a lot of the other books, or I check them out from the library if they require additional books. And it will tell you within each lesson when you need to reference those different books. So in this lesson, you're only using the My Side of the Mountain book. You need a journal and then color pencils. Those are optional because they have stars by them. You can eliminate or add in as much as you would like for this. Typically when my girls are doing these literature studies, if there's vocabulary work and I feel like the vocabulary words are creative, something different, we will stop our current vocabulary so that they can do the vocabulary within the literature study along with the spelling or anything else that's going on. I will not have them do both, okay? And then here is where it shows you different options. So you have your activity number 3, you have option number 1, and then you have option number 2. There are varying options for this. So I believe in option number 1, they're going to tell you your child can draw a picture. So this would be for a younger age. So if you have a child who's more on the 9 range, they may choose to go in and draw a picture. If you have a child that's closer to the 11 range, they may choose to go in and do the writing. So it's totally up to you on how you set that up. The good thing about it is that we've done these literature studies where my girls did them together. If you have a child who's 8 or 9 and then another one who's 11 or 12, they can actually do this literature study together. They each have a book, they each have their own literature study paperwork, and they can do it together, and it becomes like a family kind of group thing. So I do like that. So this one goes through suffixes. There's grammar work within here, as you guys saw in the other one, sentence diagramming, prefixes, suffixes, and root words, paragraph ideas. There's quite a bit. There's not a whole lot of like writing. So they will not be writing essays, not that I've ever seen. They may have to answer some questions that are a little bit longer, that type of thing, but never any true composition work within here. And I like that. That my girls do composition in another curriculum, so this works out. News reporter, 2-day final project on day number 7. Final project, tic-tac-toe. And then you get back here, handy guide to writing and grammar, different parts of speech used as a reference. And then it gets to the back section, overview and rubric. As you can see, there was not a parent overview section for this one, unless I missed it. Let me double check. Oh, here's your parent overview. Just kidding. So parent overview section, I was wondering, that might be kind of strange, but they have everything that you need, just like in all of the other ones. Last one, and this is on the older side, but as well, A Girl Named Disaster. Bought the book on Amazon as well. Then you have lessons all the way to lesson number 12. And it tells you on here, lesson 11 will take you 3 days, lesson 12, 2 days. You can spread this out however you want. The rest of these, they're basically saying that it should be a 1-day activity, but that's not how we typically do ours. We have lots of other things going on. So this one's going to have your vocabulary, your spelling, daily journal, all of that, a vocabulary list as well. Same thing, review sheet. I'm having fun flipping through this. You have your links. And then you have, this one does have activity 1. Activity 2, you have an option 1. And activity 2, you have an option 2. So even in some of the older literature studies, you're going to find that there are options 1 and 2 for you and your child to choose from. Go through here, vocabulary picture sample, cool activity here. There's lots and lots and lots of things, you guys. So we love the Moving Beyond the Page literature studies. This one looks like it has some geography work in it as well, which is great. Adding that onto there. Different activities here. I can never forget what these are. Cluster diagram. There we go. And then there's a test. And then you go into your parent overview, which has everything that you as a parent need to know about the literature study. And then it's going to walk you as the parent through what your child will be doing for the lesson and final project, test the answers, everything you need to know. Here is your rubric. And then this gives you everything that's available for this child in this age range, which is the 11 to 13 with Moving Beyond the Page.